Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I created Magic and Miracles for people of all walks of life to be able to achieve their dreams and goals. It's so important to achieve your dreams and goals because you really should know your power as the golden Buddha, which represents your God state, your ultimate divine connection to everything that you desire, your ultimate blueprint with which you came into this earthly experience to create absolute magic and miracles for yourself, for your life. And this is what I do in my coaching. Everybody who comes into my coaching usually has SP problems, but it's all encompassing. My coaching is unlike any other coaching because it covers all areas of your life. It usually has to do with your self-esteem. And so I pick apart your history. We process all the mama drama panorama, as I refer to it. And so I meticulously reconstruct your belief system whilst we covering your mama drama panorama. We process your emotions, we rewrite your beliefs. I help you revise certain parts of your history, which is really important, especially for the people who have really gone through something really traumatic. What's traumatic to one person isn't traumatic to another. No, I'm not a psychologist or a therapist. Please don't get the wrong impression. However, I have studied psychology, I have taken many classes. And what I would say, the difference between a therapist and a really good coach is that the coach is supposed to give you feedback, not just sit there silently. They're supposed to motivate you, encourage you, enlighten you, really give you tools to operate with day in and day out. And this is what my coaching program really has and contains. And I proudly talk about it because I've constructed it myself out of the last 15 years of my own personal journey. I took my own deep dive 15 years ago. And out of the last 10 years of being a coach, 7 years off of YouTube, and now 3 years on YouTube, my predecessor channel is below. Unfortunately, it got hijacked, or maybe fortunately, who knows, right? Everything happens for a reason. It got hijacked by haters. It had some 22,000 subscribers, and it does have a plethora of my work, like 600 some videos. So please do get familiar with my work. I would say the best work is what I'm doing now, but still get familiar with what I have done. I have a very straightforward personality simply because I know that you guys are tired and sick and tired of having no results. You've gone to I don't know how many coaches, and from my experience and from my experience just on YouTube and talking to a lot of you, coaches just really just not doing their job properly. Okay, they don't do this thorough job. They focus on easy fixes. They're really, I mean, most of them are not even properly trained, as it were. Okay, they're not really qualified. And so instead of putting a band-aid on a huge wound, I really give you the truth. And because the truth shall set you free, you get to work on what you actually need to work on so that you get to correct it and then live happily ever after. And that's really my goal and my objective. And if you really follow the yellow brick road of my coaching process and you deliver your part of the deal, you will succeed. It is inevitable. All right. Now, I cannot do your push-ups for you in that sense. But again, you have to come prepared. You have to be honest in coaching. You have to be humble. And you have to come ready to rock and roll. And I recommend in this coaching process, which is called the Signature Coaching Package, the links are below, 2 to 3 months. The first order of business, though, you need to book a 1-hour session in which we rendezvous. We get to meet and greet. You tell me your story. I definitely give you advice. Even if you don't sign up for the coaching for whatever reason, you will still walk away with advice that if you apply it, you will succeed. Now, if you don't apply it, that's your right. That's your prerogative, but if you do apply it, you will definitely be able to cash it in, as I say. Now, really quick, parenthesis here, or not parenthesis here, on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, I'm holding the first ever members only live. Really excited about it, guys, because we have a really, really juicy topic. Okay, the extraordinary power of telepathy. I know a lot of you guys are really salivating after this, how to learn telepathy, and for a good reason, because it's a really powerful tool that you can exercise benevolently, of course, as I always encourage everybody to do on my channel and with my clients. I mean, for the simple reason is that if you don't use it benevolently, it will backfire, as you know. Or maybe if you don't know, now you know. And so this will be your opportunity to meet with me on Zoom in a very kind of intimate setting with friendly people only. All right. You will need to sign the coaching agreement and you will need to book by tomorrow. Okay. Because I need to know my schedule. So first come first serve in that sense. I usually prefer like a group of 5 people max. All right, so this is kind of like what I'm going for on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a monthly subscription of $250. You will be able to get advice on your specific situation. It's not one-on-one coaching, it's not, but as we're discussing telepathy, I will be able to share some of the elements of my coaching, and this will be very helpful for you because you will be able to apply it in your daily practice. All right. So if you want to sample my coaching, go ahead and sign up, sign the coaching book first, then go ahead and sign the coaching agreement by hand, scan the document and send it back to me via email. If you have any questions before signing up, please email me directly. The email is below. Oh my God, 777 on the clock as I'm recording this. Guys, I am so fucking inspired to record this audio. You have no idea. I think I will blast off to space right now. So just so you know, I channel in my coaching and I channel from my channel. All right. Not that, I don't know what I'm saying. It's not that. I'm very well educated, top to bottom, read every kind of author and teacher out there with which, I formulated my own understandings. And those of you who know me by now and those of you who don't, again, big subscribe and big thumbs up. All right. You'll learn a lot here. I've had many experiences in my life as a child in particular that confirmed to me that basically 3D is nothing but a joke. Everything is going on in the invisible, all right? So it's not that I'm not educated on the topic. I'm profusely educated on the topic, but I channel the messages because I get the inspiration. And so here it is. The topic of today is, are you ready to bring back your SP? Are you really, really ready to leave behind the misery? Are you ready to divorce the misery and marry ecstasy, okay, or euphoria? I'm so serious. It's not exaggerated claims. Everything that I channel and I talk about in my coaching and on my channel alike, I've experienced it. I've lived it personally. I've helped thousands and thousands of people by now to experience it for themselves. Those who, again, take action on what I give them and what I suggest. I cannot never tell you what to do. I can only suggest. It's your duty then, again, to do your push-ups for you. So the number one situation, okay, is who the fuck is in charge of the narrative of your reality? You need to take the reins back in your hands. You need to stop letting the 3D rather dictate your destiny. That you may be upset about the current situation of not having something like your SP or money, etc., etc. That is completely understandable, and I'm with you. I've been there in my own life, okay? Again, those who know me, you understand what I'm talking about. Everybody goes through shit, but for how long are you going to let this narrative of this particular reality derail you from the opportunity of jumping into another reality? You need to start becoming in charge of the narrative of what happens even today, on a day such as today, in the next hour, in the next couple of hours. You can start deciding to become a different person with a different destiny. In other words, you do not have to, I repeat, you do not have to commit to the reality or the world that you don't prefer. You can throw it out today. But I'm telling you, but today, this hour, this hour, right now, yes, right now, right fucking now. You don't have to reside in that reality anymore. You do not have to suffer. You do not have to live out this reality where you do not have something. Understand that for whatever reason, and there's another audio that I had the download for, your narcissistic mother lied to you, which I get a lot of people in my coaching with narcissistic mothers because I share my own personal story of having, grown up with a narcissistic mother. And that's a whole other audio I will record because I know a lot of people will be touched by it, but at some point, basically, somebody fucking convinced you that you have to reside in pain, that you have to reside in this kind of situation where you have to suffer. There's sacrifice, and there's somebody else's has the say what you can and cannot do. And so it seems like in this scenario right now, and listen, parenthesis here, if your SP was abusive, this is not the topic for you, okay? We're talking about non-abusive SPs only. If your SP was abusive, this does not apply. You should not wish for this person back, no matter how much you think you love them. That is not love. If you learned abuse early on, this is just a replica of what, you witnessed in your childhood. But if somebody basically scarred you so deep as to accept discomfort, I'm here to tell you this is utter fucking bullshit. What you need to do is drop that mentality. And of course, it doesn't happen overnight. It happens incrementally, okay? And go watch my live, by the way, the last live that I published on my channel, from ghosted to proposal. You can shed that mentality incrementally, and you really owe this to yourself, because at some point you will need to start making fucking decisions. Decisions are necessary, which reality you want to live in. And again, you can make that decision as soon as this hour and this minute, my darling love. Once you make this decision, first of all, you don't need anybody's permission. You don't need your SP's permission. You don't need to wonder, are they coming back? Are they still in love with me? Will they be texting me? Will they marry me? Who the fuck gives a shit about anybody else's opinion? This is your reality, darling. This is your fucking life. This reality right here is your opportunity to make it something spectacular. Do not waste one more day in this miserable reality, okay? You will never get this day back. Make the most of it. And it's very dangerous, may I tell you, not to scare you, okay, not to make you uncomfortable, but it's very dangerous to live out somebody else's life, thus being miserable. Basically, you got convinced by somebody that you are powerless, that you cannot make choices that are good for you, and now you're living out somebody else's fucking life for nobody else's fucking business. It's very dangerous to remain in this timeline, because nothing's going to change in this fucking timeline, but nothing is going to get worse and worse and worse. I mean, it's just the theme of this reality, period, the fucking end. Once you make the decision, yes, for your SP, it's not like you're being rude or disrespectful. It's not like you're being narcissistic, not at all. What you are doing, though, is you're being so loving towards yourself as to finally be in charge of your own reality. And what you're going to do when you're going to decide what it is that you want to receive from your SP, or the kind of change over in your reality that you really want to experience, is that you're going to boldly act on this reality or the world that you prefer. And the 3D will obediently follow you like the servant that it really and actually is and always has been. Again, who the fuck is in charge of the narrative? You gotta get behind the wheel and start being in charge of the narrative. You will be amazed and dazzled the kind of changes that you can create in your life today. But of course, it starts with self-esteem, right? This right here, just even in these like first few minutes that I outlined, it takes confidence, it takes being bold, it takes being secure. And many people that I work with, they don't have this confidence because, again, they come from mama drama panorama. Their living situation sometimes is not up to par, and they've had a series of relationships that were failed. So here I am asking for some confidence. It cannot be that it happens overnight. So this is when, in coaching, it's best achieved in coaching. What can I say? You need some help. You ought to get it, all right? But can I tell you something? Once you know the mechanics of how to do it yourself, you'll never fucking forget it. If you'll end up in a similar situation, or God forbid, parenthesis here, by the way, or if your mood kind of slips, or, some kind of a thing happens, you will know how to go back to your preferred world on purpose, deliberately, being in charge, in command, like the king or the queen, like the golden Buddha of your life that you are. Choose the world of your preference and act on it boldly, and don't contradict it anymore. That's creating delays and confusion. If you say you want to be married to this person and yet you're crying in bed, that's a contradiction. Just understand, I know it's hard. I know it's hard, but this is what's required. A little bit of effort towards the right timeline, mimicking this timeline in the most benevolent sense, not becoming a whole other person, but actually connecting to the parallel version of yourself that already is living out this reality. So if right here, right now, you got convinced, again, this happens incrementally, especially if you haven't ever lived this reality. But if right here, right now, you suddenly understood that this is real, that what I'm telling you is 100% true, and it is, you wouldn't dream of contradicting your decision, because you would know this signals to the universe you're not remotely ready to start living out your dream, where your SP in fact wants to marry you, in which case you aren't fucking crying at all. You're on top of the motherfucking world. You're like, finally, the changeover in my life has occurred. I have prayed, I have cried, I have scripted. I was the melting ice cream on the floor, and when I fucking finally got off my ass and started deciding things in my favor, that God damn it, I deserve to be happy. I'm going to choose happiness on purpose. I'm going to divorce misery and marry ecstasy and euphoria of knowing I'm in charge. And therefore, if I'm in charge, I'm deciding we're going to get married, in which case I am euphoric, and I'm done contradicting in my actions in the 3D that I am not. You understand? This is the kind of commitment that is being asked of you. Once you choose this world, once this world is chosen and accessed through the inevitable emotion that it brings, when you think of your SP getting back together with you, when you think of your SP telephoning you, texting you, apologizing to you, whatever the circumstance might be, when you're thinking of your SP, what the wedding will be like, and the guests, and the cake, and the everything, and the dogs, and the children. True story. What kind of feeling, inevitable feeling, does this bring? Once this world is chosen and accessed through the inevitable emotion that it brings, that world passes through your body and is created as your 360 bubble. Get a load of this inspiration, all right? Passes through your body as the emotion and then creates your 360 bubble, just like that. Voila, la la la. I told you I was on fire today. So choose what you're paying attention to wisely. What components are you paying attention to now in your everyday life? Are you paying attention to and therefore dwelling on emotionally, creating your 360 bubble of the wrong kind of reality of, I don't have my SP, they haven't texted me in months, or maybe even years. I get all sorts of kind of things, even decades sometimes, okay? Are you you really ready to bring back your SP? Or do you want to remain in the old world forever? Because the old world, like I said, is never going to change. But never, never, never. Because that's the setup of the old world. Abandon that fucking shit. Before, in the other reality, you didn't have them. In this reality, you now do. Just like that. It's a different setup. It's like a closet, okay? No clothes, and now there's full of designer clothes. Just like that. Different setup, okay? Now, again, it's not going to happen overnight, like hoopla, all the designer clothes appeared in your closet. It's not going to happen like that, but one by one, situation after situation, text after text, date after date, you will be married to this person, but you need to start deciding it right now. Everything exists in the invisible, and so this reality that you're really craving, your SP in this reality, is here now. They're present now. Start accessing this reality right now. And so get ready for what you asked for. If you're sitting and crying in bed right now and you can't come into coaching, I just want to tell you this. What would you be doing if you for sure, sure knew your SP belongs to you? No questions asked. Doesn't matter if there's a third party. Forget all that shit. You have no competition in this world. You're a one of a kind. You're a golden motherfucking Buddha with authentic energy, that if you trust that authentic energy, again, go watch my live the latest live, your authentic energy is amazing. It's divine. It's beautiful. It's godlike. If you just trust that you have it within you, what would you be doing? You would wipe your fucking tears. You would start taking care of yourself maybe better. You would maybe start dressing better, eating better, okay? Sometimes people, when they feel really sad, they eat, a little bit too much. They stop taking care of themselves. They maybe even get depressed, etc., etc. Not that I'm a therapist, but I'm just saying, if you're really feeling sad, you would stop doing some destructive shit that you might be doing right now. You would dress up nicely. You would start smiling. You would start looking at couples differently in the street, because you would know that you have your honey. It's a done motherfucking deal. So this is what I mean by getting ready for what you asked for. For example, okay, if somebody right now invited, like you're crying in bed, let's just take the scenario. I'm being dramatic on purpose just to illustrate the example. If somebody, like you're crying in bed and somebody comes in or calls you, like a friend or something, and says, darling, you have to come. There's this beautiful party. Brad Pitt is there, and George Clooney, and whoever the fuck else, you consider really wonderful and, worthy of admiration. There's all these people there that you would love to fucking meet. What would you be doing? You would jump out of the bed, take a shower, put yourself well together, spray some perfume, put on some makeup if you're a lady, cologne if you're a guy, and all this kind of jazz. And you would be like, oh my God, I gotta get ready because I can't miss this opportunity. This is exactly the sentiment that I am kind of suggesting here. If your SP suddenly, by choice alone, by decision alone, became available in this new reality that you're going to enter. If you suddenly knew that your reality contains your SP, no questions asked. They are not absent. They're very much present. They want you, they love you, and adore you. Wouldn't you get fucking ready? Abso-fucking-lutely you would. Your whole fucking demeanor would change. Your whole mood would change. Your whole life would change. Do it now. Don't wait for the 3D to change. You change, and then the 360 bubble will change. Get excited about shit in your life. But this, of course, entails, again, working on your confidence, working on your self-esteem, working on your life. Because again, in most cases, sometimes again, the living situation is not up to par, the confidence is not up to par. There's some things that you need to work on to be this irresistible magnet towards this reality. A match, a vibrational match of like, well, duh, this person is so excited. This person is expecting this miracle. It's not a miracle. It's an inevitable consequence of how you're vibrating. Of course, the universe will cater to you. The universe is for you. They just really, really want you. Your angels and your guardian angels and your spiritual squad, they really want you to learn how to orchestrate the shit yourself. They will help you. Listen, you always, but I mean always, even when you don't think so, you always have the help of the entire universe, because it is you, your angels, your higher self, God themselves, okay? He or she, whatever you please, whatever you please in that sense. You do have the entire squad on your team. The thing is, though, darling love, here's a little kind of golden nugget, unless you already know. You came to this earthly experience to really become a master magician. And they very much want you to at least try halfway, reach for this vibration so that they can then scoop you up and kind of like help you get there all the way. But if you don't even try, they have nothing to work with, you see. And they very much want you to master this vibration game on your own so that you can be a master magician and replicate this process over and over and over again. It's kind of like, when you're growing up, I mean, I had to work since 15, and didn't have to, kind of did actually, but whatever, we'll talk about it later, since age 15, all right? But because I didn't want to go to my dad and my mom anymore for money. Now, right? So, but if I didn't do that, would I be going to my parents for money all the time? That doesn't work. That doesn't really fucking serve me. There's no growth in that, you see. In the same manner, your spiritual squad very fucking much wants you to grow up in that sense, okay? No disrespect, man. And start manifesting shit and start being this alchemist and learning your lessons and alchemizing shit. And even this uncomfortable situation, treat it as a very powerful place. A powerful desire always comes from an uncomfortable situation. A powerful desire has a lot of drive. A lot of drive, especially when you're super pissed off, super uncomfortable. I've had it. I've fucking had it. I want you to get to this place because you know what? There's a lot of drive, like I said, in that. And the more power, the more drive, the more powerful the decision, the more powerful the vibration. I'm getting out of bed. Let's just go with this example, okay? Just kind of let go with it for a second. I'm getting out of bed. I am deciding right now, I am becoming the master magician and I'm going to get myself into this vibration of euphoria. Even not seeing anything on the outside, not having, in quotation, my SP right now. I already have everything. It already has been given to me. All the parallel realities are accessible to me in that sense. I myself was not giving it to myself. I myself was not giving myself the opportunity to experience this reality, you see. When you're deliberate like this, I really want you to get fucking scared of your power because the universe will be like, whoa, now they're fucking serious. Again, it really does help when you're uncomfortable. Sometimes it's useful. Every time it's useful. If you alchemize it and use that turbocharge power to turbocharge your manifestations. Get scared of the kind of power you have because right now you're not using it. You're just not you have so much fucking power over your reality, so much power over this fucking SP that you haven't dreamt of it yet, probably. All that it takes is getting off your ass and start utilizing this power. You are not this little person. You are not desperate. It's an illusion. You're not this melting ice cream on the floor. You simply forgot. And I am reminding you, you are the golden Buddha. You are wanted by them. You are loved by them. They cannot wait to see you. But are you playing that role of this mega powerful, magnetic, golden Buddha who can have anybody and anything at all? Are you allowing yourself to enter this reality versus I have to beg and plead and chase? Who the fuck wants to play that role? But no, it's humiliating. Nobody wants to play that role. Abandon that shit. But today, I tell you, but today, refuse. But I mean, refuse to go back there. Cry if you must, process your emotions. We do this a lot in my coaching. It's very important. Everybody's human in that sense. You have a human side, but mostly you're God, but you do have this human side. Process the emotions, but refuse to go back to suffering. Refuse to play this desperate person. You are not this desperate person. Make yourself available to the ecstasy and euphoria. You have to know, and I'm going to leave you with this. You have to know. There has to be a knowing born within you through practices, whatever they are. Again, in my coaching, we do all sorts of things. I teach you energy work, which is unparalleled. Every person, listen, every single person that I've taught it to, all right, if they really implemented it in their everyday life, they came back like, whoa, Anna, this works like crazy. I am not over advertising. In fact, I'm under advertising, okay? Because this is not witchcraft. This is actually how you're supposed to manifest. This is manifestation on steroids, okay? Some clients of mine, this is literally verbatim what they told me, okay? But you have to know your actions, your inspired actions in this way, the way that you're inspired to act on this reality, they will produce results. You have to believe it. You have to breathe belief into this reality. Just like you got sold this miserable fucking existence by your mama drama panorama, now sell yourself the reality in which you have your SP. No questions fucking asked. This reality exists right next door, nor not even a millimeter away from you. Not even a millimeter away, just a decision away. Just a very powerful, driven by, yes, everything that you've experienced thus far decision, but nevertheless, the decision and the ability to switch emotions, okay? How would I be feeling? What would I be doing if I was to get ready for my party, so to speak? If I was to get ready for my SP, if I was to get ready for my money, who do I have to become right now in order to enter this reality? Simple like that. Another metaphor comes to mind. It's like if you want to enter the club of euphoria, you have to vibrate differently. Let's get you ready to vibrate differently so you can finally enter this reality. You do not need anybody's permission. You do not need anybody's decision. Only your own decision is necessary. You do not need your SP's text message or smoke signal, nothing. You will manifest it yourself. The power's in your hands entirely. Thank you very much for listening. All the information from me again is below. Until next time, ciao, ciao.